little song there? You like that?
I do like it.
Can you get a little head bopping?
Oh, yeah.
Mike,
You need to turn the lights on.
the man with no name is getting intense pregame prep for the show. He's looking at a video of like a kid playing with a dog. Furiously researching.
Yeah. He wasn't playing with a dog. All right, there was a dog on his shoulder while he was fighting his brother. It ended different than you thought it would.
How did it end?
Sure.
I don't know. I didn't finish it. But I just kind of figured that
They put down the kids and kept the dog.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
Old Yeller, back with a vengeance.
Yeah, they'll probably make that into like a sequel pretty soon.
Good old
Starring
rabies.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it'll somehow make $100 million.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it did star him, it would.
Yeah.
Box office gold.
Dude is unbeatable in the box office.
Yeah.
Next to Jason Statham making The Meg.
Yeah, right. After all that crap we talked about it had like a huge opening weekend.
Whoa.
Of course.
I don't remember talking crap about that movie. I said only good things about The Meg.
The Meg is such a bad name.
Of course that
No,
movie
it's
made
the perfect name because you get just the right amount of people going into the movie thinking it's about some teenage drama about a girl named Meg, and then another half who actually knew what it was about.
This sounds like a nice coming of age tale.
Yeah. They're like, is this like Lady Bird?
Yeah, exactly. Or is this a Family Guy? They're making a Meg spinoff.
Hey,
So this is why movies suck now.
You know.
It's because that
that
movie.
specifically is the reason why movies suck.
Because that movie made money, and they were like, "Oh, we can keep doing this."
Yeah, well, I guess if people don't have standards anymore, if they're gonna give The Rock $1 billion for making Rampage, you know, then that's what you're gonna get. Like,
Yeah, I mean, how can you blame him?
yeah, right.
You know? Can't blame The Rock for making money.
No, the Rock is just so like, the Rock is the manifestation of like that Oprah thing, The Secret. That's The Rock, like in a nutshell.
The Oprah thing.
The Secret.
What's the
I don't know what
secret?
that is.
That's like the
Is that like Illuminati stuff?
No, it's like her religion kind of thing.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing where it's like you have like dream boards and like you get what you want by thinking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, I think there's more to it than that, and I've heard like other more like expansive like tellings of that sort of thing, but
But it's
like,
basically just Oprah's philosophy.
but like yeah, but she made it popular, like The Secret, like that's where it's like most known for, like, and that's like her thing.
It sounds like Illuminati stuff.
They definitely know The Secret, except that's not it. Yeah, no, it's not thinking. It's the weather machine we have. It's not thinking positive thoughts and getting rewarded for that.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I've heard her like kind of spiel on it sometimes. I don't really like ever listen to Oprah, so I couldn't really say it. But
Yeah.
I just generally know like that kind of philosophy.
Yeah, I mean the only reason
I mean, it's just positive thinking. It's like it's not like wacko science.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like I've actually just heard that. Like I've heard comedians talk about it, so I get like the secondhand account of it. I didn't read The Secret either, so my whole perception of it is just like, so I'm purely getting like comedians making fun of it, and like when you get it that way, oh, all of a sudden it don't sound so reasonable. You know, like
That sounds like really dumb.
Yeah, like, you know, Dave Chappelle did that like joke. He's like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You think like kids in Africa are just sitting there like not thinking of a hamburger, like that's their problem, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta think, you know, that sort of thing. So
What's got in Oprah?
yeah.
I see. Good old Dave
Classic sketch.
Good
Oh,
old
yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
I don't want to put you on the hot seat, but I'm gonna put you on the hot seat because out of the last like couple that we did, like the last one we did with you. No, well, that one just got put.
To be quite honest, it sucked.
Least amount of views.
It sucked.
Well,
You gotta pump those numbers up.
You gotta
kid.
pump those numbers up. So So what are you gonna do?
Well,
that's
come
a
out
fair way of
swinging.
putting that.
it looks like I'm not comparable to neither Jason Statham nor Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He's podcast anti-gold.
Yeah. Who's like
Podcast led.
I'm trying to think of somebody who, when you put in a movie, he's sure to make it a. I'm like a post 2013 Nick Cage.
No, Nick Cage is he's like he like transcends box office. What you are, you're M. Night Shyamalan. He's a name that you slap on there, and I'll never forget. People literally laugh at the sight of his name. Like he became such a joke. Being in a theater, like that movie about the devil in the elevator. People are kind of looking at it like, whole movie takes place in an elevator. What the hell? And then it was like, produced by M. Night Shyamalan. They're like, oh, it's stupid. Like people all spontaneously laughing together at something that wasn't a joke. Like, you know.
Wait. Let me see these. Let me go back to these podcasts over here. I'm a little.
Yeah, it's perfect for the on-air part of this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't read out our numbers.
Yeah, we're not.
They're millions.
Yeah,
Hundreds of thousands.
millions.
There's lots of people just like you, listener.
They're all great people.
Yeah, all of them great.
Wow.
Our numbers are huge.
Well, I mean, you got these outliers.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I mean, they were all kind of like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'm box office trash.
No, it's led.
It's box office led.
Podcast led.
Well, I mean, maybe you released it on the wrong
Actually,
day.
you know what I think the problem... Yeah, I mean, it could be that. You know what I also think the problem was? I spelled Vin Diesel's name wrong. I just changed
God,
it, but I spelled it Vin Diesel. People are like, if this guy doesn't respect Vin, I don't respect him.
maybe it's because we made fun of him. So
It's
much.
like, yo, that's family, bro. You don't make fun of family.
Yeah, that could have been it. They hated the whole talking crap about Fast and Furious.
Podcast you've been waiting for.
God, I was just looking at that movie.
You guys talked about Stanley Kubrick the last time?
No, that wasn't me. That was me. I did one with Yanni. That one was surprisingly popular. Maybe that's what we should just talk about now. Like, just Stanley Kubrick. You guys have any thoughts? Apparently that guy brings it in. People are just like, they're flocking. They're waiting on the internet for someone to talk about this director who's been dead for 15 years.
Yeah. You guys heard about this Stanley Kubrick guy?
Yeah. You know?
He made a couple small-time films.
Yeah. You guys seen 2001: A Space Odyssey? It's only 50 years old.
Is he really 50 years old?
68, I think, when you looked it up. So not exact. Or wait, no, yeah, that's 50, right?
That's 50.
That
Damn.
would be 50.
Though I was saying this to Yanni, that movie still looks good. Like, that's a movie that holds up well. Like, and that's especially hard. Like when you're going into space, things can end up looking really crappy really fast.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like, and make that 68. Like, I'm surprised Star Wars looks as good as it does.
It does look good. It came out later than I thought, though. I thought Star Wars was like
77 was the first one.
yeah.
I think,
I
right?
thought it was like early 70s, late 60s, but
No,
I thought it was like 71 or 68, but it was pretty much the 80s.
I can remember it because it's like that movie like was kind of like signaled like the end of like the way they frame it is like, oh, like America was going through a depression, like because of everything that was going on with Watergate and Vietnam, and the wave of the 60s was crashing. So then you got all these like super dark films coming out like right in a row, where the endings people would like die, and it was, I mean, if you watch any film from the 70s, usually like the main character dies and they're all like about confusion and paranoia and loneliness. And then Star Wars came and it was like, we're ready for Reagan, bring us Reagan. And
That's
then,
kind of interesting.
yeah, and then like in the 80s it just became like super masculine, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like who for some reason is like the embodiment of America, like
Even though he's like Austrian.
yeah, exactly, just like super buff, like hell yeah movies.
That's so interesting. So you think that, I mean, people would argue that like generally movies capture like the feel of that time.
Yeah, people, I guess like
So now we've got a bunch of shitty movies that are all about weak men.
I just knew you were going to find something to say. I was like...
You know, I had a nice little metaphor for Forrest before when, because I was picking out the weeds in the garden, and Bailey came and took a poop right where I was working, and I said, "That's you."
That's exactly what it's like talking to you.
You just looked me right in the eye. This is what I think of your work.
That dog is dumb.
Yeah. But at the same time, so smart.
Yeah. And then you were like, "Good girl. So smart. Genius."
Way to take a dump on somebody else's work.
Yeah.
Prove your dominance.
Yeah. Right? What were your thoughts about all the songs you saw in the top 40 today?
Oh, they were all terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What song?
Hold on, though. You agreed with me on most of them, so...
Well, yes. Well, no, what I said is, like, they're very, like, they're plain. Like, there's nothing good to, like, sink your teeth into about them. You know, like, they kind of...
See, you spice up saying that something's shit. I come out and say it's shit. Yeah. You say, "Oh, it's just so plain. There's nothing you could sink your... It's shit."
I take a little, like, dump on someone's garden, then I put a nice bow on it. And I put a little candle next to it, a little incense, so it doesn't smell so bad.
Even if you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
You guys...
Yeah, I say,
So you guys looked up all the movies? Or...
No. We were listening. We went to YouTube's trending list and listened to all the music videos that were in the trending list.
Yeah, but like I sometimes think those. I mean, I don't sometimes think. I always think that those lists are like, they're generated by like money. Like they're not actually generated by like what people are enjoying. You know, because it's like there's sometimes when things get top of the list, I'm like nobody's like it has like a video with no views.
Yeah.
You know, it's a song
well,
that's, like,
definitely, it's like studios are probably paying to get things promoted, right? Like,
yeah.
To get things on the air.
Which is like BS because that's not like legitimately like the most popular thing.
Yeah, I don't know what do you think? So then, what do you think is like legitimately the most popular thing right now?
Songs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
You're so weird.
What's weird is like just like the rapid change, because last week it was Tekashi and this week it's George Michael.
What? Really?
Yeah, I actually think that George Michael's a better pop star than Michael Jackson. That's me putting my foot down.
How does that even make
Line
sense?
in the
Michael
sand.
Jackson's like the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but I can't enjoy his music anymore. Like, he ruined himself. You know?
That's not
his
fair.
his off the field antics.
I don't know. I'd say it's pretty fair.
But it's just like I can't, like, it disconnects me from his music. Like, you know?
Why? Because he's so...
Because he's a shit person?
Yeah, like, he became so outsize of, like, the thing, where it's like, I'm not thinking about the song I'm hearing, I'm thinking about the person that's singing it. So, I mean, like, you can say it's not fair to the song, but it's like, he caused it.
Wait.
Ooh, your voice actually sounds better when you do that. So go.
Really? I was trying to see, I think maybe we got less views. I have a theory about the less views thing before I say that Michael Jackson.
Sitting here Googling like times a day when people work. Oh, well, look at this. The planets were in retrograde. How's a man supposed to lead a podcast?
Well, I'm looking at our sound thing, and like, did you listen to our last podcast? Could you hear us?
I think so.
This is like a podcast.
I didn't.
It was like
check
a podcast with no sound. My theory is that there might have been no sound.
No, there was sound.
Oh yeah,
I
for sure sound, because I listened to it too.
Yeah, I listened enough to know that there was sound. It might have been the quality's probably not as good because, like, you know, like this would be where I should be talking, but I talk back here so that you can get in there as well. But my voice is kind of screechy anyway. People probably appreciate it. Like, that's anything that's probably getting more views. They're like, oh, thank God, just not that little, like, in my ear. You know?
Anyway, back to the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
He's, well, one, okay, he was definitely a little bit outside the box in his personal life. That's for sure. But I'm like, the music is, what? I'm like, but also like,
allegedly.
You know,
so we have to say allegedly.
Allegedly. And then on top of that, it's like,
he was allegedly outside the box.
No, he wasn't allegedly outside the box. He was definitely outside the box. But he allegedly what he did outside that box.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's why we have to say outside the box. Like, we're not dancing around the things like
Well, I'm
that
just
he was
saying.
an accused pedophile.
Yeah, that he was an accused pedophile. But I mean,
Multiple accused.
being a child star myself, I have a lot of because I have a lot of sympathy for people that like. I mean, the dude's been famous for his whole life, and then on top of that, like when he got famous, it was like absurd how famous he was. Like it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard to stay level-headed and normal in that kind of atmosphere when you're from the time that you're like 7. He was lifted up in the Jackson 5 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't have a rough life because of that, but
yeah. But then I'm saying whatever
you still can't just be like, oh no, it doesn't matter what he did then.
Well, I mean, assuming that he did the things that people said he did, like because the ones we're obviously thinking about are like the pedophilia and that kind of stuff, but that's unproven.
I was thinking about the monkey. It's not right to own an animal like that.
You were thinking about the monkey? Whatever. Well, I'm saying that I don't think he did the pedophilia thing. I think there's a lot of rumors that are speculated about it because he's such a strange guy who like never really got to have like a childhood. So I don't know if that's true, but if that's not true,
I have to ask Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, if that's not true, then I say that his music is incredible, and it holds up well over time. Like certain albums, not every one of his albums holds up well.
Yeah, maybe I'm also just like sick of it. Like for some reason, he's really popular in this part. Like I hardly ever hear him. Like when I was back northeast, but down here, I hear it like every like radio station does at least a couple of songs by his a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't listen to those radio stations.
I don't listen to radio anymore. To be honest.
I listen to radio all the time.
Yeah, radio is dead.
Not for me.
What's that song? Video kill the radio.
Hey, also, what's the name of this program?
Radio.
Actually, it's dead. Well, maybe you just take out the end.
Yeah, just take out dead radio.
Dead radio. Come listen to this dying medium.
Well, it's dead in radio, but we've taken the podcast form.
Dead. Yeah. Actually.
Podcasts are alive and well.
That's
so
actually the full
kind of
name.
faking.
Yeah. It's
Dead End Radio Podcast.
Dead End Radio, the podcast. Now on YouTube.
Maybe it should just be called Dead End Podcast.
No. It does not flow.
Although it's a nice label. I really like the label you guys have here.
Thank you. I paid some guy in Nigeria $50 to do it.
Speaking of...
Really?
No. But like, just put on some of George Michael's greatest hits and tell me those songs aren't good.
They're really
like,
good.
You gotta like those songs better.
I mean, Faith is a great song.
Father Figure.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Last Christmas.
Underrated though, Hall & Oates.
Yeah, Hall & Oates is good too.
They have some classics.
Yeah, I actually like a lot of Hall & Oates songs. I didn't realize how much I liked them until like there and other people. I started going through their catalog and I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
do you see what I have to deal with, people? I said, do you see what I have to deal with, people? I'm talking to the people, not y'all.
What?
You don't like Hall & Oates?
Dude.
Don't know if I've ever heard a song.
Oh, yes, you have.
Oh, my gosh.
I might have, but I don't know them now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're probably like me.
Exactly.
You're like me a few years ago, living in ignorance. But then you realize...
That's actually how they got their name, Hall & Oates, because it's two things that you commonly experience, but you don't really appreciate them.
Yeah.
You eat oats all the time, and you walk down many halls.
I never appreciated this hallway.
Or these oats that I was eating. And now I do.
Without the hallway...
I can say that I do not listen to many of the 3 people that you've said today, though.
Okay, wait.
Okay. You only listen to bands with guys with 2 first names. My name's Jake Allen.
I like rock.
Actually, also, who was that guy you were saying that you listened to? The rap guy. I was looking up at his music the other day.
Riff Raff?
No, not Riff Raff. I was like, imagine that.
That'd be so funny.
I could not imagine. It was some...
I don't even know if Forrest knows that guy exists.
I gotta look up his name.
Unless he's done something extremely political that Forrest hated.
Whoops. Turn that off.
Wow.
We're gonna get us copyrighted soon by a Christian band.
My bad.
It was like Nate Dogg? No. I said Nate Dogg, and then we got into... So I'm just gonna type in Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
I'm so confused. When do we have this conversation?
Forrest liked the hip hop guy?
Yeah, it was one guy.
Do you like hip hop at all, Forrest?
He likes some. I know he likes
some.
I know he likes some cut,
listen to some hip hop. Like it's not all bad, but it's not like my first choice though.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know who I was talking about though.
Dude, we need to get
I can't remember
people
the guy's
listening to this
name.
podcast. Tell me if you didn't watch the last one
Yeah.
because you hated my voice, or because me and the other guy next to me, who you don't know his name, if we are too low sounding. Also, if you just want me out and you want to take a team vote on this,
The team vote.
I'm okay with that.
All you
Emails.
guys
But
meet
all
together.
of you have
We
to
need
meet
emails.
together. I'm expecting you guys to meet together and make at least a 15-minute video explaining
Yeah.
why you've ousted me.
Yeah, it could start like a why I left the podcast.
We definitely need more emails anyway.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because there's some controversy.
Yeah, come on.
Inner
Send us some stuff.
turmoil. I think
That way we can read your name
How
on
many
air
do you
and
get
talk crap
rounded
about
to
you.
the nearest 100?
Ding. Like 50, 100 to like 70, 100. Like I'd
Let's
say
go.
Is like typical. Like not including the stuff that we don't see because we don't see what iTunes does.
Really?
Yeah, we
So
don't.
secretive.
Yeah, and
Who owns iTunes or Apple now?
Tim Cook is the guy who took over for Steve Jobs' position. So I don't know if you say he owns that. I mean, it's publicly traded, so I guess we all own it. It's like the Green Bay Packers. We all own a piece.
Wait, what?
Like you know how the Green Bay Packers they gave out like ownership things to all their fans.
Really?
Yeah,
Stupid.
yeah, stupid.
You tell them for.
Wait, but Hall
Wait,
Note
what?
songs, you know.
Oh yeah.
Who was
back
I
to-
talking about the other day?
I can't remember this guy's name.
A small time artist. Eminem?
No, it wasn't him.
I mean, I probably said something about Eminem, but
It wasn't him.
Forrest the kind of guy that would like. You could just Google like high school football rock music, and every song Forrest would be like, "This is freaking amazing." Such a good idea.
Oh, whoops. Free ad for whoever's. I just really can't remember.
rock music's just better.
Wait. Okay, I'm going to continue naming Hall Note songs so you can prove that you're a big fan. What about Man Eater? You know that song?
You definitely know the song. You.
I'd have to hear it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. She's a man eater.
I'm sure I've
Whoa.
heard it before.
Do-do-do. Mind over matter.
You don't sing much, dude.
Do-do-do-do-do. No, I actually I can no longer hit a high note. Like
Yeah, I lost
Literally-
that a long time ago.
yeah, like puberty. Yeah. Obviously, you
Happened in
can't.
kindergarten.
It's weird for me because I feel like my voice is already there. It's like it's just like stay in that same range. It's like that's me. Like I'm pushing there. That's about like when I try to go high.
I kind of have a high voice when I sing.
It's weird. It's like
Not even gonna try. It would hurt.
mind over matter. Do 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 do.
See,
Whoa,
like I probably
whoa,
actually
there
have to
she
hear the
goes.
song.
She's a man eater.
I'm sure I've heard it.
Or how
It's
about
not something that I listen to repeatedly.
what's that
though.
one from that movie?
Oh,
That one
you
from
make
that
you
one
make
movie.
my dreams come true about
Yeah.
500 days of summer.
Yeah, that's what it was. You make my dreams come true. Do do do.
You definitely know
do.
this, man.
Twist and shout. What about Rich Girl?
What I got? Full stop. You never heard this
Yeah.
song?
I don't know.
Get your arms around me, 'cause I ain't the way you found me.
I don't know why Steve's singing like that. That's really not how I
what was that other song I was singing in the courtyard?
Your kiss is on my
pre-
list
yeah,
because your kiss.
I've heard that one
Your
Yeah.
kiss. That's them.
There you
for
go.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
them.
I've heard that one.
Okay.
I don't remember any
You know
of
who
those
else
other
is?
ones.
You know who else
How
really
about-
good? Speaking of George Michael, Wham.
George Michael's in Wham, right?
I know.
Well,
That's what I
so,
said.
so I'm counting that as part of his like superstar greatness. I have to say, I was thinking about that too when I was thinking about all his songs. Like the other guy in Wham like you really fucked up there, buddy. Like you had a golden goose. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and all you had to do was just like prance around on stage with them and like stay in the background.
Why? What happened? Did he did they get into a fight or something?
I have no idea, but like you had to keep that relationship going. Like whatever you need to do.
Well,
like,
maybe he made his money and he pieced out.
yeah. Well, just like keep him with you. Like, you know, like do whatever it needs to take. Like massage him.
Like I said, maybe he made his
How
money.
exactly do you think people are convinced in the music business?
Well,
Steve just thinks it's like a bunch
I've seen
of
a
guys
lot of
giving each
things
other
about
massages.
Hollywood.
So can I be on your next album?
I can only imagine. The music industry.
yeah, especially well, you know how George Michael got outed, right?
No.
He got caught blowing a dude in a bathroom stall.
Gotcha. It's one way to get outed.
You know, and that's the other reason why he's better than Michael Jackson, because for him it's like, wow, we're the assholes because we judged him and made him go in the closet. But for Michael Jackson, it's like, well, like, I'm the ass. Like, well, you're the jerk, and like I'm a jerk just for listening to you.
Yeah, but I think the thing about Michael Jackson though is that like, what the impact he had at the time was so massive. Like George Michael was famous at the time, but like Michael Jackson
he was definitely
like
bigger,
game changer. Like Michael Jackson literally was, I think, the only person ever in history, which isn't like the last 50 years, but to stop because I'm about to say stop national TV, like as if that's been around for 100 years.
I thought you were gonna say like sell like a gold record or something like.
Yeah, the only person ever to be featured on the iPod. But no, I mean he stopped like national TV to have his video played. Like they stopped it when he like released his video because they wanted to play it on CBS or something. Like they stopped like a national broadcast for this guy.
Maybe that's why I don't like him.
No.
Yeah,
He's too big.
Forrest was in the womb.
Same reason why I don't like the Beatles.
They just stopped the show.
Yeah, I know. He's too big for his britches, you know?
Just a contrarian. Tell me you like something, I'll hit it.
And then then once everyone started not liking him because of all the allegations, he was like, you know what? He's not so bad.
Yeah.
No, really. Michael Jackson's one of the few that I was like, I'm just gonna stick with not liking him.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He's
Good.
just weird.
That's probably a good point not to change your position.
Yeah. See, but it's like the same thing. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I really don't listen to him at all now, but I like Nickelback just because so many people hated him.
Yeah, see,
you know what? Screw all you people.
Nickelback is actually like the worst.
I don't know why they became such a joke. Like
because
they're actually
all
pretty
their
good.
songs are about the same thing.
They're very
is
popular.
That what it is?
Not really. It's all their popular songs are
That's
about
true.
the same thing.
Mm.
The ones that can actually be played on radio. Everything else is different.
Is it this? Are we saying that the subject material is the same, or like the song sounds the same? Like it's one song.
Well, I mean, a lot of they definitely have their own, like, like if you hear it, like, you'll know that's probably Nickelback. Like, they have their own, like, sound, but...
Yeah, him and the guy from Creed, I might get them confused. Although I would know it's the guy from Creed because he would probably be singing about religion.
No. Creed...
Is Creed a religious band?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, he has some songs, but... But how would you get those two confused, though?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he has his own, like...
Because look,
you should be able to hear Creed.
Well, because
I'll sing them for you.
Steve gets them confused in the sense that when he sings them, they sound exactly the same.
Nevertheless, I just press play on the YouTube. Click. Can you take me higher? Click. Okay, so that's sample one. Sample two. Click. Look at this photograph. Every time it does, it makes me laugh. Hey, now.
It's actually hard to tell that it wasn't an iPod.
Wow, so there you go.
Your Creed was close. Your Nickelback was pretty far off.
My Creed is better.
Well, that's just because, I mean, your Creed's better because he doesn't like Creed.
No, actually, I enjoyed Creed, too.
Did you really enjoy Creed?
Yeah,
really,
I mean, I liked it.
Creed's not so bad.
Whenever you listen to these songs,
Creed's not bad.
Is there just like high school football memories coming back to your mind?
Actually, my mom listened to them, like, not Nickelback, but she listened to like Creed, like Bon Jovi, like all those.
Bon Jovi's a little more understandable.
Like she got me into a lot of those like rock bands because like she listened to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like a lot of those bands. So
Red Hot Chili Peppers are good.
That's pretty cool. I think it's cool. Like I like when people keep like developing like their taste. Like, for my dad, much as I love him, like his music taste stopped in like the 70s. Like, he doesn't. I don't think he can name it. Like, he knows some
he listened to some
although
Sublime.
Yeah, that was a really weird one. That was very much an outlier. I actually have to ask him about it later because I was thinking about
Sublime.
it. Yeah, Sublime's great.
Sound like more rock.
Why did he
music,
say?
though.
Why did he like it?
Well, because he was just like it wasn't. He was just single at the time, so he was like kind of going around, like he was in the scene again. You know, it's like when you're young, like, and it was somebody that like cared, like he went to music college, so it's like it's surprising that like his like of music kind of like stopped, like.
Yeah, but like he studied classical, so like classical guitar, so it's all like you just don't develop a taste for like any music outside of very specific classical music that you're never gonna listen to like on your free time.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, and it probably makes you like it makes it harder. Like I think I can only like pop songs because like that's where like my frequency of music is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know anything, like I don't know enough about music technically in any sense to really appreciate anything besides just like, like that's it,
Just clapping.
Yeah, just very like, like
mainstream, poppy. Michael Jackson is better than George Michael.
This actually I was talking about last week, or I was talking with somebody last week on these here radio waves. I don't understand voice notes, like when someone's like, hey, can you like play me an A flat, and they're like, oh, like, and then,
Are
like,
you tone deaf?
Maybe. I've told you beats don't exist. Like
Yeah,
there's
weird theories about music.
there's no such thing as a beat. It just look like, I think our brain just syncs it up for you. Like you're just looking at people like dancing and stuff and like, oh, they're moving the beat.
Oh yeah, but that's different. So like he was talking about like those dudes that do like those crazy like hip hop dances that are kind of like, it's kind of like a freestyle dance in the middle of like a song that's got a very like, the beat's like, and the guy's like dancing, but it doesn't seem like he's just kind of like moving his arms and doing a bunch of things. Like he thinks the guy's not moving to a beat at all, which I'm like,
he's
No,
not.
I mean, no, there's definitely like an underlying like beat in it.
Like what's his rhythm? He's just like it looks awesome because like
It probably matches up with the I'm not that good at music, but that other
okay, but like I understand.
like the beat that a musician keeps as they're playing.
Yeah.
Like the time.
yeah.
So it probably matches up with that.
It's probably matching like the tempo is what he's saying, not like every like
Is
synthesizer.
Is
like
tempo and beat different?
We'd have to get.
Tempo's like the underlying beat. So like a song's gonna be like gonna have a tempo like 1, 2, 3, and then within that you're gonna play a bunch of different chords and crazy stuff, and it's gonna make cool sounds. But like if you really listen, there's like, which is why like drums are usually like drums keep the beat.
Well, like how music has time, like 4/4 time, like 3/4 time.
See,
it's like the
only very abstractly do I know that. Like
That's what I'm talking about. It probably keeps up with that rather than the actual sound.
To me, it just looks like they're doing like you could do anything. Like
we'd probably have to get our other buddy on that was actually a drummer.
I would
talk about this. Yeah,
I would love for somebody to explain it to me. Yeah. It's not that. Listen,
if we talk to him, he'd probably be able to like easily explain that.
He'd probably be like, frankly, you disgust me. I'm like, okay. My theory is the beat doesn't exist. You're a drummer. Thoughts?
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
He's basically saying that he just
probably
thinks that all those people doing like the hip hop dancing, or if you watch those movies, or guys doing crazy moves, it's like they're really just doing cool things with their bodies, and there's like sort of a song in the back.
No, I'm saying I don't hear. I'm saying I don't hear it in a song either. But like that just confirmed my long suspicion.
He'd probably stick.
You don't hear beats in a song. How is that even possible?
How's it possible you do? To me, it's just like like what am I hearing? Like, is it the drum part? Is it like it was supposed to be like the part that goes like,
You have some amazing theories about music.
Is this like? Is this the like? What's the beat? Like, which part in that is the beat? Like,
well, I mean that's
it's like how long you like when it's to actual music. It's the time that it's set up. So it's
like if I'm like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
So this would be like a beat if it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and you could add anything between the 1 and the 2, as long as you hit the 2 at the same time, and so that's a beat. So the beat is a 1, 2, 3, 4.
And that's what they're supposedly moving to.
I mean, they're moving in tempo with it. So like they're probably doing a lot of things, but they're probably doing specific things on like.
So they're hitting different notes.
That's why in choreography they have they have timed movements. That's why they're always counting when they're doing stuff.
So
that movie that you love when he goes, "What's up, Pete?"
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
He says, and this is just a paraphrase, or this is a quote, so don't at me. He says, "Follow my feet, faggots. Stick out your hips, stick out your tits."
See, that's a beat. You just clap into the beat and try and get them on the beat.
I guess, but like, I guess it's because the notes change. So then it's like, because the notes change, I'm not like sure. Like, so when's the beat starting? You know, it's like note, 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 note. Like, where's the beat?
Didn't you ever play rock band when you were a kid?
Yeah,
I
was
rock band
terrible.
together.
I was a singer.
Yeah, you actually were the singer.
I wasn't. I could hit all the notes, but I think it's just a matter of like going with your voice, you know. So it's just a matter of being like shameless and not caring that like you're stinking. You know,
yeah.
I think that's like the key of being the singer in that game. The best song to do was Chop Suey.
Yeah.
Because you could just go like this. You wanted to. You wanted to. Like you would actually hit all the notes. I wanted to. You wanted to.
Did you like that band?
System of a Down?
System of a Down. Not really. I've listened to a few of their songs, and like I had to listen to them like kind of on repeat one summer with a guy I worked with. I mean, they weren't my favorite, but it's not like I wouldn't say they're bad. They're just like not what I like. But
You wanted to.
Hey, do you listen to it? Because you wanted to.
But I mean, there were definitely some of the rock songs like. But we would alternate for football. It was like alternate between rock and rap.
Yeah.
You know, but it was always like really like intense music. So
Yeah.
I got used to that. So this hip hop bullshit
It's funny.
confuses me. I'm like,
all my wrestling
does
songs
nothing.
were we're kind of like fruitsy, like, you know, like except for like you know, they do like the Rocky going the distance at the end of practice, ding 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 ding, like, you know, like that part at the end, or Money. That's the best song. And like I get to hear that on the radio here more because that's something that's not played in Northeast. It's weird, like how different people have different rotations, but I hear that all the time here. Every time in the car and that song comes on, it's like just instantly good memories.
Yeah, that is a good song. Here we go now, saying money.
And then you throw lightning.
Dun, dun.
Is that the beat?
Yeah. Exactly.
Beat, 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 beat.
It's not like beat. I mean, like they're not like things that are happening to the song. Like beat.
I just want to know.
It's like it's
like,
an
what am I
underlying thing, and
Yeah, it's just
everything
like
else follows along with
whatever
it.
you do, whenever you sing, there's a beat to it. Like there's a tempo and a time. It's not like you need like it's not somebody in the back beat.
Yeah, like
beat,
like
beat.
Michael used to be able to like listen to a song and be able to like tell you like what the tempo of it was.
Yeah.
Like off of a metronome, you know. I mean, it was pretty accurate too. It was pretty crazy. But I mean,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah. Like I said, we're gonna have to get him.
Yeah,
like,
music
we're
is
gonna have
like-
to talk to him. And
Really
like,
understanding
get him to
music is
explain some
actually like a
stuff to you.
super cool like random talent to have. Is like really like knowing music well.
Yeah.
You know, like on like a technical side of it, it's like pretty crazy. Like how much you don't think about stuff that's happening, and then they explain it to you, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is cool.
Or when like people have perfect pitch. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but like there's guys who like, you know how like when everybody's like play me a G and like somebody plays it on like a piano or whatever, and then they can like tune up to it. There's guys who have like perfect pitch, like they can hit every single note. Like it's very rare.
But can you hear that difference in someone's voice when they do it? Because I heard somebody trying to tune with their voice the other day, like, you know, they were a singer and they were doing that, like, you know.
You have to have perfect pitch if you want to tune with your voice. Like,
You know, like, or like they're just like, can you play an A sharp? He's like, oh, like, can you play like a G? He's like, or something, you know, whatever it was. That, like,
you have to have perfect pitch to be able to like, do that. Like most people can't. That's why like all choruses or whatever need like a piano there, because like you can't. It's just like you can't naturally just hit a G. You need to hear it, and then as you hear it, you can sing it out.
G.
Which is why, like, you know.
I'm a G.
Shut up.
That whole conversation was just to get to that. Suckered you guys in. I know all about beat.
Beat.
Hey, we're gonna find the beat. beat.
That's not the beat anymore. There's too many beats. There's too many. There's not that many.
Yeah, the whole thing. But that's why I like pop music. Is like that's for me. Like that's like put him in the kids' pen. Like like orchestras and symphonies and stuff like that. All like fine, but it's like I don't get it. Like I don't get what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Like I can't articulate it. It's like
I mean,
more than just, like,
I think,
like it.
I don't think most
well,
people
like I
can,
think
to
with
be honest.
that stuff, it's like
Most people
they're
enjoy it.
playing something that's very technical, so it's like hard to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't necessarily like hip hop as much, is because it just doesn't. I mean, it could. I'm sure it's hard. Like I'm sure I can't do it, but
What?
it just seems like easy. As far as
He's being
all the
modest.
other.
Give him a beat.
As far as all the other thing, like I was telling Steven earlier, like these, like they don't even rhyme anymore.
Yeah.
Like when they're singing, like they just say the same word in two different sentences.
But that is like a style. Like that's not a style that I prefer. But that's like that whole like Mac.
That's almost like saying though, like the shit that they put in the L.A. What's that public art museum? Like the shit there is just a different style than what the Mona Lisa was done in. It's like no. One's shit, the other one's good. Like,
well,
it's not
like,
just a different style. It's like that style sucks ass.
Well, listen, like I said, there's probably like a hierarchy of music, like that's like this music's better, but like I think like that stuff still does exist, like on a frequent, like it's not that it's not good. It's just like you have to meet it at its level. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot look at a pop song the same way, like I said, you look at a symphony. It's like they're just different, they're just different levels.
for sure.
Like,
But you can.
But
tell
I can also say one shit.
Yeah, but you can tell when
Wow.
like
I think the ones by Quavo I don't like. I really like. I just if someone can come and explain like what's great about that. I guess it's just like it's supposed to be a vibe. You're just supposed to like it's just like a feeling you get like that. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine music that I think is good.
Feeling like, man, I should turn this off.
No, it's just like it's like.
Now, I mean, I get the beat behind it.
Yeah.
Like, if that was all that I could hear, I'd be like, okay. But it's just like, that one song, he just said Lambo talk.
Yeah.
He said it like 15 times without saying anything else. It was like, it's not, it's not hard.
There's also the problem, though, is like, if you guys are
in
just
a context though, like plus it depends what context you're hearing that in.
Yeah.
Like if you're hearing it in the context of you sitting on your computer with your headphones listening to it's like it's different than like a club or
Maybe.
Where
sure. If I have to be intoxicated for your song to make sense.
No, I mean like
Forrest, if I slipped you 2 tabs of Molly, you would like it.
I mean, but
For
it
sure,
is,
I'd like
but
most
it is
things at
hard
that
to like
point.
say like, hey, this music is bad because there's never not gonna be like a subjectiveness to music where it's like somebody is gonna come up to me and tell me that they think like I appreciate Kendrick Lamar. I think I love like what he does, but I just don't really like his music. Like I like Chance the Rapper a lot more, But like somebody's gonna come to me and like tell me the deepness of Kendrick Lamar, and like I'm just like that's awesome, but I'm not gonna enjoy his album when I listen to it the next time.
I actually liked his last album a lot. I thought Damn was really good.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's good, and I think what he does for music is probably more important than his actual music, because he like advances it, like he makes it like more interesting, like him and Kanye and guys like that.
Yeah, well,
they push the bar.
Yeah, I really appreciate guys like that, and I also appreciate that he's like that he has words and lyrics and like a thing and a message and like his
and an album. Like I like that it's laid out through an album. That he's like got an album that has a point from beginning to end.
Like the problem with like a lot of like the mumble rap scene is like I'm with you that I don't like that stuff, and I don't like it specifically because they don't because you're right, they're not really rapping. It's like so you guys are the front man of this band, like. Do they make the beats? Like a lot of the times they don't. They're just buying them, and then you're not really like rapping over them. You're just kind of like they don't really need you there. Like they could get any guy off the street to go like, boop boop doo boop boop boop, like because like you're not supposed to understand the words. Like it's called mumble rap. You're mumbling. Like I don't understand you. Like the specific thing I like about rap is the lyrical thing of it.
No, and that's what I liked about rap is like actually hearing somebody put like. And like a lot of the rap that I used to hear, I couldn't tell you like a whole lot of the names, but like the stuff you used to hear, it sounded like it was very thought through. it rhymed, like it had a story behind it. Like there was a lot of stuff to it. Yeah. So I like that.
Or is
stuff.
At least like clever with the wordplay. Like I've grown to appreciate that about like Lil Wayne. Like I used to not like him because I thought like, I mean, I do think he is kind of silly. Like I think a lot of like rappers are kind of like silly in the stuff they talk about. You know what I mean? Like I think I've told you this before, but I viewed him the same way I view like Lonely Island. Like if all you're gonna talk about is like, oh, I'm the best in the game. I like sleep with this many people, and like I have like a, you know, like a 10-inch cock and $20 million in the bank. Like okay, like you can say that cleverly, I guess, and it's funny, and like I can enjoy it. But it's like you're silly. You're being a silly person. Like, like, you know, actually, it was funny to me. I saw Nicki Minaj and what's her name? And like Cardi B had like I was watching somebody break down Fifi, that Nicki Minaj, Tekashi 6ix9ine like song they did, and they were saying like she says she's the queen of New York, but Cardi B is from New York and she says she's the queen, and like supposedly like are they taking shots at each other? And I was thinking like, isn't this what they all say? That's like saying like, whoa, someone said he's the best in the game, but he also claims he's the best in the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's just the thing they say. Yeah. I don't think it's actually like a title that they're like fighting for. It's like,
she like gets a call. Are you serious?
Yeah. You're the queen? No, I'm the queen.
Wait, you made the rap game big?
Yeah, exactly.
I made the rap game big. We were all...
It's like, that's just the thing they all say. Yeah. It's like, if you find some rapper that only has like 100 listens on SoundCloud or something, like people are saying to hit, like he's saying, I'm the best in the game, hustling hard.
Yeah, but I think that's like kind of like part of the whole genre is that they need their, like they don't need it, but like the media loves to hype up like beef between like two people and be like, oh shoot, this guy said this about that guy in this song. Which is like sometimes there's probably some truth to it, you know, whether it was like Drake and Meek Mill or whatever, or all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, the whole genre like thrives off like there being problems, so then they need to make sure like there's some things. Even when there's nothing, they're like, she claimed to be queen, so did she. Oh,
yeah. For that one, it felt so fake. Like I bet like they hardly think anything about it, you know, like. And I guess they're also trying to recapture some of what was going on in the 90s when it was at its biggest, and like it was West Coast, East Coast, and it was like a serious like. I mean, people got killed.
Yeah, people literally got murdered. Like, that was serious.
No.
Now it's like... No,
but, see, like, in those songs,
now, like,
though,
the Canadians
it like, actually had, like, you know, something, like, going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, like, now it's just, like, it's just nothing.
Well, I mean, that's not true. It depends who you listen to, you know? Like, that guy who did that song, I'm Not a Racist, like, that's... Like, he certainly had something he was thinking about. Or, like...
Who is it?
What was his name? It's technically... I'm Not Racist. I think it's Lucas...
Is he white or black?
He's black.
Typed in, I'm not racist.
If you watch the video, though, you think he's white at the first.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was, and then I told Forrest, because, like, I was like, whoa, my God, look what this guy's saying. He's crazy.
His name's Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, Joyner Lucas. Like, you know, that's a song. I actually kind of like that song. Or at least I appreciate what he did. Like, that's a song that has, like, like, you know.
What's the point of it?
He's just sort of like, he's kind of rapping from like the perspective of like a white guy and the perspective of a black guy, kind of talking about just like their different views on how they view like the issue of race, or like his perception of how the two sides are viewing each other. So I mean, it's interesting, you know, and that's what I like. I mean,
I think that's the most powerful thing about rap is that it can be so much more of a dialogue of, you know, ideas and stuff like that are like you just like, even in rock songs, rock songs that are very deep, it's like there's just, with the whole verse chorus idea, it's a little bit hard to go deeper, you know, because like rap is just verses after verse, so it's like it can go really deep, and it can like build a whole thought compared to a rock song. It's like there's a verse and there's a chorus, and you have to go to a verse that reminds you of the chorus again, that brings you back to the chorus, you know.
Yeah. And
so I like good rap is really thoughtful, because you're like, dang, that was like crazy what you just said.
I like rap songs that do like people that can tell like a story like full out like in a song. Yeah. Those are like some of my favorites. Like that's what I really like. Immortal Technique.
I don't like him, but yeah.
Yeah, but
it just seems like those songs aren't the ones that get on the trending list.
No, but like those guys can. But like the guys that do those kind of songs can still produce both kind. You know, like
it's just those
you know,
songs
like
that
Kendrick
get super
Lamar's, like,
popular.
a good example
that
of a
everybody
guy.
listens to. It's just like
Yeah.
Well, I think Kanye
Yeah.
West actually does have stuff to say in his songs. Like, if you actually listen to like his
Yeah, that's
his
true.
albums, like he's not just like I mean, his stuff is usually more personal than like political or anything like that. But it's it's actually funny. As crazy as he sounds like in his like everyday life, it's like when you listen to him rap, it's like this like he sounds so like just regular and articulate. You know what I'm saying? Not that he's not, I guess because like he just goes on stage and like rants and like you don't really understand it. But then when he's talking in rap, it's like I understand him entirely. Like it's just like he's sitting down and like telling me something.
Yeah, but
it's really strange, like like how normal he sounds when he's rapping, and then it's like once he gets off stage, he's like, I am a genius. You ever read some of his tweets? They're pretty funny.
I like him a
Not
lot.
really.
Yeah, he's you ever read his tweets?
Mm-mm.
There was one that was like, he's like, I think ninjas are cool. I've just never met one in person.
Did you really say that?
Yeah. I'm gonna look up like some of his tweets.
I mean, I think he's one of those guys that just like, because even like, but you know, Kanye kind of got a lot. I mean, like he obviously did like the Trump thing, but even with his rap in general, he always gets a lot of heat because he's like, he always does something like even just like lyrically or musically that's always like pushing the bar, and everyone's like, whoa. Kanye.
Yeah, his stuff is always kind of like weird compared to everything else that's out there.
Yeah,
It's great.
he's the man.
He is the man.
Speaking of,
All right, do you actually have something? What are you typing over here?
no, it's just I don't even know. It doesn't really matter what I was typing over here. Unless it got in the... Maybe that's why people aren't watching this, because they heard a typing thing going on.
Or no, or maybe because they can sense you're distracted. They're like, well, he
I wasn't distracted last time. I was fully present.
Let me actually get distracted. I was like, I don't mind him now because he doesn't seem to be listening.
Wait.
And I empathize with that.
So what were some of the topics you guys had to talk about today?
I don't know. We didn't actually
Yeah,
discuss
we
anything.
didn't discuss it.
The
Those
only
are
thing I
all
told
from
him I
last
wanted to
time.
say was that George Michael is better than.
The only thing that... All right, well, then let's talk about... I don't know.
Is there anything going on in the news right now? I'm sure nothing. Well, the world's good.
Looks
Yeah,
like the
not
world got
much.
better.
I mean, the only thing that I've seen really.
Job
is
well done,
just-
guys.
We did it.
They keep doing the like playing up all the like banning and stuff. It's like really the only thing going on right now. You know, PragerU got their videos
Back
like
up.
on. Yeah, now they're back
Now,
up.
now they're back
But
up,
they
right?
got they got censored for a
Like,
little bit on Facebook.
You know,
and
to me,
some
it's
other
like, why would you not just... if you're going to make a move like that as Facebook, it's like, you just got to stick to your guns, you know? Like, that's like the biggest
No,
problem.
no,
It's like,
their problem was they did it to PragerU, which is like how he puts it is they're milk toast.
Yes.
Like they are as plain as you can be. Like they don't say anything controversial,
Yeah.
like at all.
I thought PragerU was Jordan Peterson's thing.
No,
No.
PragerU is
Dennis Prager.
Dennis Prager. Yeah. So Dennis Prager is just like is he an Orthodox Jew or is he just a?
I know he's not Orthodox, but he's just like a
Yeah, he's just
a
Jewish
conservative
guy,
like talk
yeah.
show guy. He's like
Like, but he doesn't say anything
he's like
crazy though.
yeah, but he's like Rush Limbaugh. If Rush Limbaugh wasn't always taking pills and being nuts.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Super relatable analogy.
well, you know, if you know Rush Limbaugh, you know.
Just imagine
No,
him.
but he's
Not-
not.
yeah,
I
imagine
wouldn't say
him
he's
not
anything
crazy.
like Rush Limbaugh though. Like he's
Well, he does like he has
because
a
like,
radio show.
but when you compare him to Rush Limbaugh, everybody's automatically gonna be like, oh, well, I see why he's censored then.
That's why I tried to say like he's not as inflammatory, like you know, like
So he's like, not Rush Limbaugh, Rush Limbaugh.
he's like Rush Limbaugh.
He's
like
just
remember,
like a very
remember
like.
Austin Powers where he takes his libido? What was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
His mojo.
Yeah.
It's like that. He's like Rush Limbaugh. Someone took out his mojo.
I don't know
And by his
about
mojo, I mean the massive amount of pills that he takes.
that. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I heard he's
like,
on
they
a crazy
censored
amount.
they censored
Probably
him
just
on
rumors.
Facebook, and then like the YouTube tried to suspend Stefan Molyneux
For what?
this last week. Apparently YouTube's like went back and started like redoing some of their stuff this last week because there's what was that account that I saw the guy that's on there, his tag is some black guy.
What's
Derek
his name?
Blackman, I think.
He-
At least that's the name that I know him by. He was on there, and apparently a video that he posted like over a year ago got suspended. Even after a year ago, it had gotten manually reviewed by YouTube and said that it was okay.
Maybe
Like,
they're
it had been
testing the
suspended.
algorithm.
He put it on there and said, "Look, like, I don't think this should have been taken off." They reviewed it. They said, "Oh, you're right. It wasn't bad." Put it back up, and then this last week they suspended it again.
What does he talk about this guy?
I mean, he
usually?
talks about, like, he kind of does, like, less politics than us, but mainly just talks about, like, the stupid stuff going on in the culture, basically. Like,
I mean,
what he
it
goes
just,
over.
I don't know.
Here's what their big issue is just that there's no transparency. You know, I don't know everyone they're censoring, so it's hard to say whether or not it's targeted. It feels targeted. At least you can build that scenario around it when there's no set guidelines or no guidelines that people understand.
It's very targeted.
Yeah, they're very, like, everything they say is vague. So, I mean, it's, like, totally possible.
They ban certain people off of Twitter, but then leave. So here's the bias. Sarah Zhang posts racist tweets against white people, gets hired onto the New York Times, doesn't ever have anything happen to her on Twitter. Candace Owens black girl, posts the same stuff, the exact same tweets on Twitter. She gets suspended for a day.
Yeah. I like...
She gets suspended.
But she's conservative.
She posts tweets about white
She
people?
took the exact same tweet that Sarah Zhang posted, the exact same wording, except changed the race. I don't know if they changed it from white to black or something like that.
Yeah.
But put the exact same thing, just changed the race.
I think it was
That's
from
all they
white
did.
to black.
Yeah, that just changed the
And
race.
So,
they suspended
a black
her.
lady posted about, like, a racist tweet about black people.
Yeah, exactly. And they
And
suspended her.
They suspended her?
Yeah. And then apologized for it after, but suspended her nonetheless.
Yeah.
But somehow they did not suspend Sarah Zhang.
Who posted race stuff about white people.
Yeah. Like a lot.
They just need clear standards. Like, you need to have a standard that's clear and that applies to everybody. And that way everyone can point to the rules and be like, if it falls within this, then it's fair. If not, if that. Or else you're just going to keep having these conversations about, was this guideline right or was it wrong? And
the problem is too, like, the only people who care about this kind of stuff, like, the only people who are, like, really paying attention are so opinionated and divided on it that it's like, it's just hard to for people to, like, genuinely.
But
figure this out.
the problem with that is if they're only doing it to one side.
Yeah,
this
that's
is where
what I mean.
most people get their news information, though, is the internet.
Yeah, that is it.
So
that
if
is
they're
a problem.
only targeting one group, and especially before midterms, and nobody cares about it,
yeah, that was
then
Gavin
you're only
McInnes's
getting
theory.
one side of the story.
It's a midterm purge to get.
I mean, look at the timing. Like, if you don't want it to sound like a conspiracy, why would it all be happening right before a midterm election?
Alex Jones is
That's
probably
quite a way to ask a question.
not.
If you don't want this to be right, then explain to me why it's right.
The answer is in the question. It's not. I mean, it's not that I can't see that's possible. It's totally possible. But I just, like, the secrecy is what bothers me, because that makes it so it's like, even, like, anyone that like, I think what Mikey was saying, or whatever his name is,
Could be.
saved us.
Close
Got
one.
that one out there. Like, it's legitimate that it's like, it's possible that they're being about, or that they have good intentions. It's possible that it's not totally targeted, but we don't know. There's just, the information is hidden.
That's why you just let people say what they want.
Yeah.
Combat bad speech with better speech.
I mean, I would just prefer that if it was like a free, like, well, if it was just a totally, like, we don't care. If people want to bully and be mean to each other, or they want to say dumb things, like, that's fine, as long as they're not like, ISIS or something, like contracting out hits on there, or people calling for violence in that, in actual direct ways. As if you want to just get that and do everything, I'd be fine with a platform like that. I mean, it's not like these platforms are so open. It's not like you open up Twitter and you see everybody. You know, you see the people that you follow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that
it's
is.
like
I mean, that is something that I like wonder. Is like, you know, some of these people that say these things or get banned or whatever. It's like, do they really have this huge following, or is it really even worth fighting? I mean, like in this case, yeah, but I'm saying like for making all these rules and having to figure out a way to do this is like, it just seems like you're becoming the police for, you know, like you're like extending your arm farther than it needs to be. Like just figure out the things that you can fight, and then figure out things that people should naturally figure out together. Like you obviously just can't have people just berating each other with racist things and saying all these horrible things about each other. Like it's just like it's Twitter, so like people just will stop following that person and he'll just naturally be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for stuff that people like, you know, it's, I mean, really the only stuff that should even be like considered for like banning, if you know, excluding the like direct things of violence or like other illegal activities, is when you at somebody. Like anything that you tweet like to your followers, like they made the choice to follow you. That's like, you know, you enter a conversation with me.
But you can still block people that at you anyway.
Yeah. Well, so even that then, like, I'm just saying you shouldn't even like really consider it to me because it doesn't make sense because you don't like, it's not like it's not totally public. You know what I mean? You have to choose to follow these people. I don't get random tweets thrown into my thing unless someone I'm following is retweeting them.
Yeah, it's like the idea of talking behind someone's back. You know, it's like it's just a bad idea to try to police everybody talking about somebody behind their back. Like if they're attacking that person, that's like a different thing. But if it's just like that was really frustrating what this person did, you know, this person's annoying, blah blah blah, or this like rednecks or whatever, or this or that, or like, you know, and you're just like, okay, whatever, like I'm not just gonna be a part of this conversation. Yeah. But like to go out of your way as a multi-million people wide organization, you know, where you have to figure out all these things.
I don't think there's that many people working there.
Not working, I mean multi-million affected by the organization.
Well, a multi-million network.
Yeah, a network of multi-million people.
I was talking
crazy to
I was talking about like Patreon has been doing it too. Like there was a guy on there that he was part of something called like Jihadi Watch or something like that. I don't remember his name. It was like Robert Spencer.
Jihadi got a body?
But they kicked him off of Patreon, like without warning him at all. And then like when he asked about it, like, you know, you didn't give me any warning. Patreon said that MasterCard told them that they had to put him off the platform. So like, I don't know, man. It's weird, like what's going on right now.
What the heck?
Yeah, exactly.
That one is strange.
So,
although I have to think it could not have been targeted against one guy. Like it had to be like a general like.
Yeah, but if even then though, like, why is MasterCard even able to tell a company like that, like, oh, you can't do this?
They got leverage. You know, they say like, hey, we're not gonna associate.
See, like, I'd bankrupt my company so fast.
Yeah, clearly.
MasterCard would be like, well, you can't do this, or we'll make it where none of our people can go to you. And be like, okay, well, screw you, MasterCard. How about that? Do what I want.
Screw you.
I'll run this right into the ground.
There's only like 3 banks, and you're one of them. I don't need you. I'll get the other 2/3 of people.
Just saying. I don't think they could even do anything. Like what? So MasterCard is going to say that nobody with a MasterCard can go on to Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They might. It'll put yourself in a position that you definitely.
I'd call a bluff.
You don't want to be in. Where
I'm calling the bluff.
Call the bluff.
Bring it, MasterCard. Do it.
Do
it. Theoretically.
Forrest, have you ever thought about going into business? Seems like you'd be the best consultant.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what we got here is a classic case of bluff.
Telling you.
Forrest would be like that episode of South Park where like the business people where Cartman buys the theme park and he kicks everybody out.
Yeah.
That would be Forrest. And like it actually becomes super popular because his whole thing is like, I don't want you here. And people are like, well then I want to come. And he's like, screw you. And then it's like all of a sudden it's just like people are just like coming in droves and he starts having to let them in to like maintain it. And then he sells it because he's like, he hates like a theme park with people in it. So if your business ever became successful, you'd probably sell it because it'd be like too many people happy around me.
There you go. Genius.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think like if you do stuff like that, though. I mean, I don't know about on that kind of level, but from my experience, like, as a business, if you kowtow to like people like that, like they just lose respect for you. So it really doesn't get you any more business. It just, all it does is make people complain more. So they get shit.
Well,
like, that's the only thing I've ever seen come from that.
That's how I generally feel about, not in that specific scenario, because that one's a little more strange. Like,
yeah, like I said, that one's definitely a little different.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But even like the people that get like fired, like due to Twitter mob outrage kind of stuff, you know,
that just isn't a good precedent. Like, you can't, like, no matter how bad.
That's where I think like you're
like those people go away. Like, your business isn't gonna hurt for that long if you just keep the person.
I think the whole thing that we were talking about before, and that, like, I mean, with all this is just like, you know, you got to stick to your guns. Like, you just gotta, like, you know, like, if you hired an employee and you trust, and that employee's doing good work for you and all these things, and they have a tweet that's like, you know, where it's not like, I'm gonna murder everybody in New York, like, not something crazy or something where it's just like, okay, you need to be medically checked. But if it's something like, you know, just like that was questionable that you said it, it seems like it was a different time in your life in general, you know, like, but like, to just show that we're gonna bend to the will of everybody else who's just this angry mob of people who most of them don't really know this guy or even care, you know, what the problem is, and they probably didn't even read the tweet. There's probably like, you know, 50,000 retweets in. It's like nobody's reading this tweet. Like, they don't even know what this guy's really saying or have any kind of context. So I'm like, just stick to your guns and keep the guy, and prove to people that you value the people that you know more than the 50,000 people that you don't know. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely it too. Where it's like it's a thing that is built like momentum on itself. So if you see like people like just start like retweeting things and like they don't even care because like, oh well, the guys I follow are doing it, so it's, you know, it's like just what I do. You know,
Yeah.
It's like I'm not really reading into the story or caring about it. I just like something that, like, a guy that I always like his stuff, he said, be mad at this. I said, okay, like, retweet, and then I just went about eating dinner, like, you know, and then the company's sitting there responding like, oh my god, this, like, these people all care. It's like, probably most of them don't even really care.
Yeah, like, in a week, they won't even know if you fired them or not.
Yeah, for real. Like, it'll go on to the next story.
Yeah, they'll go to the next business.
Especially these days, like, especially with Trump in office, like, news things don't even last,
They
don't even last half a day. It's like, yeah. You know? It lasts until Trump gets up in the morning and starts tweeting. Like, then it's a whole new news day, and those things are totally forgotten.
Exactly.
It's hilarious.
It is like, the history on those things is so short. Just
yeah. But I mean, it just in general, though, I think that's what kind of
just be like we're thinking about it.
It's just like a lot of people. I mean, not just with that though. But it's just like any like business that does that with their customers. Like, their customers lose respect for them, and like, because, you know, I got that from like working retail. Is like, you have certain customers come in, and if they're gonna, like, if they always complain and you always give them what they want, they just keep complaining no matter what you do. Like, so they, you know, they just keep being an asshole basically. And so like,
yeah, everybody
like
wants
with
to
this,
try to push the limit.
yeah, like with this other company that I'm working for, like, if somebody tries to be an asshole to you, like, you can be like, look, we're not going to take that. Like, we don't have to. Like, we can go somewhere else and we can make money elsewhere. And, like, when you do that, when you show people that, you know, you're not just going to, like, let them do what they want, most of the time they become pretty apologetic. And they're like, okay, look, I was wrong. You know, like, we really want you to do this.
Yeah, people get entitled. Well, because America, like, part of our hustle has made, like, people become very entitled because they're used to businesses being like, you know, like, if you go into, like, I worked in a couple of restaurants and there's tons of that. There's tons of people, you know, for things that are like, they're being totally unreasonable, like yelling at the staff and the manager for things that are at least partially their fault, but like they're just
throw
like
their ass out.
Yeah, and they just say like, sorry, we love you.
Yeah, just throw them out. Like,
they kiss them a lot.
Funny thing is, they probably come back because most, you know, like, it's kind of like you're saying, the people that test like the boundaries were kind of just like, didn't work.
Like, they'll actually have
like,
respect
I have a friend,
for you.
Like, I have a friend who literally goes places and, like, he's convinced he can get a free meal every time, and, like, he will just,
he probably can.
Yeah, and he can, and, like, he will literally convince the person there. Like, I mean, there's like fast food places. It's not like he's going to like, you know, the nice places down, but like he'll just like, but he just like finds the person. He's like, that person will break, and then he'll just be like, come on, man, like, I know like the manager here, and I'm like, dude, you shouldn't do that, but. You know, he like tells me, you know, like all the time, like, yeah, like I can get free meals anywhere that I go. I can find the person that like will break, you know, and he'll just basically tell him like either he'll just be like, hey, like come on, just like you really gonna make me pay for this? Because like, but there's just people, you know, that will just he's just one of those guys that he wants to test the boundary. But if you made him pay, he would just whip out his wallet and pay. Like he's not like trying to actually steal. He's just like, if you're gonna let me do this, I'm gonna do it. But it's not like my thing, you know.
That's why you need more people like me.
That's
like, no.
Yeah, I'm about to
You're
say,
gonna pay.
hope far is the, or you know, isn't the.
It was pretty funny though, like because like it was us and like a group of people, and he went through each one of us. He's like, I wouldn't go to you. I would go to you. He's like, I definitely wouldn't go to you. He's like, you'd be this kind of guy.
If he knows me, he thinks he would come to me. But if you saw me when I was I'm a mean waiter. You know, I'm.
He's making faces right now. He's putting his hand in front of.
Stay out.
All right, that might be time to end.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I think we are gonna end.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Is that Hollywood knocking?
Speaking of,
is that opportunity? Opportunity.
I'll get this mic fixed. Tell me if it's the mic thing. Why aren't you guys listening to me?
Thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, you can, or contact us. You can email us at thedeadendradio@gmail.com. Or you can contact us at Twitter at deadendradio. Nope, got it wrong again. It's at Dead Radio USA. Thank you.